All right. You ready? I'm coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, 5, 4, 3.
Howard's office.
Quiet on the set, darling. Not like the show on Nickelodeon where you have those strange... First of all, let me tell you something. There's got to be an age where kids have to leave. I'm just thinking about it. You ever think about that? Like, you want to leave your... I used to have a friend that would complain that his room wasn't neat. He lives here now. Why do you want your mother to have a room for you on Long Island? I just couldn't understand it. I could never understand it. Would you believe she had so-and-so in my bed? But you don't live there. Yeah. Do you understand? So now my daughter says to me, one of them says, you better not have anything in my bedroom. And the other one's like, you better not have anything. I said, what are you, the friggin' Goldilocks of friggin' like L.A.? You're not even here. One's not even in the country. They're hysterical. They're hysterical. The first time they saw me introduced, this is the funniest thing. When you're doing stand-up comedy for a long time, you will hear people say things like, I would go to your show, but, you know, I was thinking you would talk about me. Like a comedian would ever think about talking about anything about themselves. And isn't that funny? That's why they don't go to your show. You can still buy a ticket on Eventbrite, right? And take a look at it. I'm going to talk about you there. Oh, my God. But I'll tell you, I have talked about people not knowing they were in the audience. And look who's coming in. Is it Father Doyle? I'm kidding. Give him a round of applause. Who is it?
Griff James.
And you know it. I got all confused. Another white boy came in right away. I could not see. And I thought it said Griffin. It said Griff. And I was like, oh. But it was Ethan, not Griff. Am I right? Yeah. It's hard to get those white boy names right. But I changed them. Because when I was hanging with Persians, they'd have every Keon I met was Persian. I have not met a black Keon out here. Isn't that amazing? It's true. They're all, Keon. How many black Keons you know out here? I mean, because you're up in Chicago, you're from, right? So you know a lot of different... A whole bunch of Keons. None of them Persian. None of them. My cousins are Rashi, Joaquin, Kaleem, and Rahman. Their last name is Brown. My cousin once asked me to look at his resume, and I said to him, it says race, African American. I said, you know the person is saying no shit. Because who has a name like that just ends with a color? You know, like say, let's say like my name, Kronquist. Its last name is Kronquist, and somehow you drop that R and it comes a racial slur. You know, you got to think about it. And they're like, yes, can I have Kronquist? I mean, my best friends are black. I'm sorry, what did I say? But nobody's talking that stuff now because we got to bring comedy back because these people need to laugh. You hear me? These people need to laugh. Round of applause because we're having the evacuees here for free. We are having the first responders come in for free. You know, and we need some help. We're doing this clothing drive, and it's really exciting the things that are going on here. I just like to interrupt a set that I don't have to begin with to share with you the wonderful things we're doing because Aaron, who is the director of the Film Actors Cafe in San Francisco, has now brought his school here, and so we're working together, and it's great, right? I know. So, yes. Because, look, when you get those auditions and they want to self-tape, I mean, that's the worst. People are becoming stars by just sending in self-tapes. And I hate myself on tape. So no take is good. You know my husband does? When you hate your picture, he'll say it's you. It's true. Shelley was screaming about her pictures, and he goes, let me take a look. And he goes, Shelley, it's you, and looks away. It's terrible when you get an ugly picture, right? Oh, my God. Have you ever seen an ugly baby?
Oh, mine was the worst.
Oh, my God.
His head was pointy. His nose was out the ear. I brought him to places. They said, listen, I covered him up. They said, oh, it's a baby.
Now, do you know, Shelley, you haven't been here for a minute, but you know that this is a one-way conversation. But I'm glad you shared it with me. Give it up for Shelley for getting it in. She had to get in her ugly baby story, and then you wonder why your kids talk about that nursing home. But here's what I'm saying. I tell my kids, don't mess with me. I'll call the cops and say it's senior abuse. That's what you got to do now.
That's right.
Because I got that phone call from a principal from a Jewish day school. She was just like, I'm sorry, but you know, Mrs. Saffron. That's my day name. Aviva revealed to us that you spanked her with a belt. I said to myself, and I'm 2 seconds from putting my foot up your ass, okay? Because you got to stay out of my business. When you send your kids to a Jewish day school, you don't know what's going to happen. I got a call. They said, your daughter tried to kiss a boy. This has never happened ever in this school. This is a religious day school. Your daughter needs to be somewhere else. This is too sexual in second grade. I said, please, Monica Lewinsky graduated from here. You're too young to know Monica Lewinsky. You went to school with them or something. They're young guys, so they only know things like video games. And that's what the beauty is of this class that we're talking about at the Film Actor Shop, because I know how to bring that shit back around. I get an act. I get a script. And my anxiety comes in from not knowing I got to memorize this, I got to memorize that. And then that comes in, and that shows all over you. And he has a method that I'm not going to share because I'll screw it all up because I can't remember. I'm kidding. But it's just cool. It's about, it's just a way of acting that makes you feel like, wow, I'm really doing this. And to walk away from an acting class with footage of yourself, and I'm not doing it because I don't like to see myself on TV. I don't look at any of these things. Isn't that horrible? My friend was like, you had lipstick all over your teeth the other night. I was like, nobody told me. She said, because you have all men in your class. I was like, oh my God, it's true. We need more women. Women, get in here. I guess that doesn't count anymore. Look, nobody's clapping. Isn't that terrible? Women, we're over. We're done. But without us, what would you do? My God, you are so funny. But I wanted to start very interesting. I have a fan here. And I'm his fan, he's my fan, and then he has other fans that try to come through me. But you're going to enjoy his comedy. Very interesting, tall on comedy, big on jokes. Let's give it up for the man who stokes. Let's get it for Lee Schwartz.
Thank you. Thanks for the great introduction. First, always first. Only place I'm first. Yeah, only place. No one else thinks I'm really important, so it goes. But last time, I've been experimenting with different things, like really just drugs before comedy or after, during, see how it works out. I don't know. So I don't do drugs at all. Not much. I mean, just when I'm not talking. No, I don't. But last time I experimented with bumping up from PG to R, which worked out okay. Didn't fucking work out too well, actually. But that's as far as I got. Just you saw lots of stupid swearing. Yeah, you loved it. Yeah, I'm glad you did. You're the one. 1 out of 100 isn't bad. My girlfriend was telling me, these are all one-liners, okay? I usually don't do one-liners, but it's about time I did 1 or 2 or 3, unless I get sick of them. But my girlfriend told me that I had an eating problem, and I don't believe her. There's a problem. I can't eat what I want. Okay, that's a problem. Okay. And I heard there's a new thing. It's called the 0 mileage club. I don't know if anyone knows this. It's the dumbest thing. You, on your car, it tells you how many miles you have to go till you get to the gas station. So you want to cruise right into the gas station and go 0, 0, 0. Then take a picture of it, and then, honestly, it should be the 0 IQ club. That's really what it should be. All these ridiculous challenges, I don't know. My biggest challenge is watching all these challenges, and knowing that there's all these imbeciles out there that are doing ridiculously dumb things. But, so she also said that I have, a real farting problem, and she says that, I try not to take offense to it, and I try to stay calm and not get mad, and I try to turn the other cheek sometimes. So, but I don't know. And, something about me, I just, everywhere I go, it's like I think of the worst possible scenario. And unfortunately, I've got a really wild imagination. So, and imagine this, you go to everywhere, and then you think of the worst thing that could possibly happen. So I was about to go in the bathroom that's really hard. So, I try not to think about that. But I just keep doing it. It's reflexive. So, but I was actually, today I was tutoring a kid at a complex. I was sitting there, relaxing, in the middle, having, like, not a picnic, and then this guy was jogging around me, and he had like he didn't pick up his feet, so it was scraping. I guess he hurt his leg or something. And the first time, it's one thing, like, I look up real quick and, something that I just think, and then he did it again and again, and I kept trying. Eventually I tried to not look up because I was, I made him feel bad, and so I was trying so hard, and but every time he kept going around, and so I eventually just left. Let him keep doing the round and around thing. I was getting his way, I think. That's okay. I was standing in his way. Maybe if I wasn't there, he'd be able to do the thing without dragging his feet everywhere. So I felt really bad, actually, after that. And then I went to 3rd Street Promenade, and when I was in Boston, there's a quick thing I do to feel good. I just give some money to a homeless person. It was easy. They thank you. It's in Boston, but however, it's a little bit different out here. It's kind of like, it's not that easy. I went to the homeless man. I gave him, happened to see his food or money. So I went with the food. I happened to have a sandwich. I bought for myself, by the way. And I gave it to him, and he's like, "What is this? What is this?" And I said, it's a sandwich. He said, "What kind of sandwich?" And I said, "It's a roast beef sandwich." He's like, "I'm a vegetarian." And I said, I'm sorry. I didn't know." He's like, "You should know." And he tossed it right in the garbage. And I'm like, rejected by a homeless man. That's pretty bad. But it's just day in life. I tell my girlfriend, just be happy you're not me. Every day, it doesn't make her feel any better for some reason. I don't know why. And every time she blames me for just about everything. You name it. Too many clouds in the sky. What did you do? What'd you do? You got to do something about that. The weather should be good tomorrow. I want to make sure it's nice. Okay? Everything. It's ridiculous. I don't know why. I mean, I'm going out the door tonight, and, she's always like a couple things she says I should do before I'm actually out the door, so I don't escape till I'm done with these things. And always it's like, sounds like it goes from one thing to 2 things, 3 things. 1, walk the dog. Okay. Fine, I'll run down, walk the dog, back and forth. And she's like, can you just take out the dishes? And I said, sure, fine. And then the next thing is, there's a shingle on the roof, you gotta fix it. And I said, okay, I'm done. I'm out the door and I'm gone. And she's like, wait a second. You're not matching. You're too matchy. Like, I don't care. When I've been matched at all in my life. Okay, I always never blended in. I never got along with, I never felt right. Just leave me alone. And I said, we never match, actually. So, and she's like, what? And then I almost got away, and then she said, wait, there's schmutz on your shirt. And for those non-Jewish people here, that's like residual Doritos, really, that just won't come out. And I almost escaped, but she caught me. Thank you all for listening. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's Lee.Schwartz, actually, like shorts. .585 forward or backwards. .1234. Managed to find that. You deserve it. Thank you. Thank you.
Because you love shorts.
Shorts. I'm short.
You love shorts.
I'm short.
And we love shorts. Get your cell phone. Don't forget your cell phone. I'll go through your cell phone. And then what's going to happen, because everywhere you turn, we've got a joke with the comedy of Art Brayburn. Let's do it, Bart. Come on. You coming up? Yes. Long time.
Okay. Hi.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Good energy. Okay. Usually I'm a little more prepared than this, so it's going to be a little free form. But me and Abby want to start doing a set every week or so. Yeah. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. Who flew? Anyone fly? Does anyone fly? I don't like flying. I had a flight delayed like 5 hours because someone in first class on the plane I was supposed to take took a big shit, and so they had to ground the plane, and we had to find a new one. And then on a allegedly separate note, the pilot left. But there are theories that the pilot is the one who shit so hard that the plane had to ground, and he was so embarrassed that he just flew away. So the bad thing about pilots is they can fly away. Yeah, it sucked. And having people tell you that your flight is delayed is the worst. And you feel such palpable anger, even though you know it's not necessarily fair. I think I would rather tell someone that like their wife is sick than their flight is delayed. And I'm sorry if anyone's wife is sick, but I straight up would rather have given you that news. Because it sucks. But I got a lot of TV watching done. I like TV. But I really like commercials. I feel like watching TV is just watching commercials now because it's back in streaming. We've looped back to cable. And I feel like there are more tropes in commercials than people give them credit for. They're a real art form, you know what I mean? They have genres just like movies, you know. I like how fast food commercials always have hip hop music. I really question that decision. I wonder why burgers sound like they need to be rapping, or what that association is, where that comes from. And then on the other hand, dental commercials never have any music, which is so wrong to me. It's like the most fluorescent concept, and then they're like taking you inside a mouth like it's Magic School Bus, and it's just completely silent. So 9 out of 10 is fucking crazy. Political ads always give like really vague comments. There was a political ad that was running recently where they said that potentially dangerous people are roaming the streets and crime is out of control, which is like neither of those sentences mean anything. Potentially dangerous people is just people. I'm not much, but I'm potentially dangerous. Yeah. I could do some damage. And crime is out of control. Isn't that what crime is? I mean, if crime was in control, it wouldn't really be crime, right? That's just boys being boys, I think. And then there are like mattress and furniture stores, and they'll always be like, "Oh, we got shit that's jaw-droppingly free." It can't really be. That's just a flat rate, though, right? It can't be jaw-droppingly free, right? You can't be like this. This pigeon is jaw-droppingly a pigeon. It's like, that's just what it is. It's non-quantifiable. And then there's medical ads, which I think are their own thing, you know what I mean? It's like, I really like those because they get so far away from what the medicine even does. They're just like, look at this guy. He's got HIV, but he's fine. He looks happy. Doesn't he look happy? He's doing well. He's dope as fuck. Look, he has all these friends. Think they have HIV? Who cares? I don't know. It's just, it's kind of, it's nice. It's like he's near the ocean. He looks happy. Wouldn't you like to be near the ocean? You could have HIV and be near the ocean. It's fine. And then there's fragrance ads, which are so like abstract because they're trying to sell a smell. So they're trying to show you what a smell looks like by like putting Jared Leto in half of a tuxedo and putting him on a beach, having him howl at the moon or some shit. It's like, yeah, I want to smell like that. And I fucking do. They get me, man. That's the sad thing, is that it really works. I don't know. I would love to be Jared Leto and have a tuxedo on a beach. That would be fucking awesome. Sorry, I'm just staring at you, Abby. I'm scared. Okay, I trust that. But yeah, no, I don't know. I think that I'm still figuring out my deal. I'm 22. Life's a journey. In high school and middle school, I was trying to figure out who I was. I always wanted to be, back in like high school and middle school, I was taking Spanish classes because it was required. And I always wanted to be like a character in a language textbook, because I feel like that's the best life to live, because it's like you got a full itinerary, you know what I mean? Like you wake up at 9 a.m. and then you're playing soccer for the next 3 hours in the park with your friend Sophia, who has beautiful brown hair and is smart, and then you're going to eat ham sandwiches that grandma made you, and then you're going to walk the dog in the weather. And, it's just like your whole day's planned out. It sounds really nice. I live the life of a character in like a math textbook, you know what I mean? It's all reductions and subtractions. I wake up with $12. I got to eat 3 meals, and I got to smoke like 8 joints. Should I just go to bed now? Like, is that just better for everyone? I don't know. I don't really have anything else. So I think I'm gonna log off. But thanks, guys. Instagram. Art Braeburn, ARTBRAEBURN. Okay.
And you know what? Finally, you're going to love the skin you're in, because we have the comedy of a woman, Abby Rosen, darling. Come to the stage, will you? Will you grace the stage, Abby Rosen? You guys got to do an act together.
Right, that's what you were just saying on the way here.
Well, we'll talk about it after the show.
Okay, we'll talk. We'll talk. We should do it. We'll do it. Next week? You want to do it next week? Tune back in next week where
Yes. Tune back in.
Will towers me on this stage.
We'll have somebody else.
Yeah. Hey everybody, I'm Abby Rosen. I obtained a boyfriend recently. It's been really fun. I decided I'm 21, it's time to settle down, so I scoured my Jesuit university for the perfect Jewish man, and I found him, and he's so perfect that our first date was actually to a Holocaust survivor speaking. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment. We just kind of like reflected on life and being alive, and the way that the Holocaust survivor spoke in 3-word sentences. It was beautiful. He's not like other men I've really dated. I've dated a few men in my life, my very long 21 years of living. And unlike my other boyfriends, I actually have things in common with this one. I usually have gone for guys I don't have anything in common with. My last boyfriend, he wouldn't let me touch any of the clothes in his closet. So that was huge, to be able to touch my now boyfriend's clothes. My last boyfriend, he was crazy. He, as we know, loved his clothes, and he also loved Kanye. So that was huge. He loved Kanye so much he spent $500 on that Yeezy Kanye hoodie that has like a blurred dove on it. And he decided the day, after Kanye decided he would go DEFCON 3 on the Jews, he showed up at my door wearing that hoodie. And I said, maybe wasn't really the time to be wearing that, but it's okay. Maybe we just take that one, half Jewish. Like, are we really gonna wear that today? He's like, it's 60 degrees out. What do you think? I'm not gonna wear this hoodie? I was like, okay. That's what we're doing today. And I wasn't with him for very long. He was like kind of albino, and he really, really wanted to do butt stuff. So, and I'm not like, as someone who's like an advocate of skid marks, like I'm not into that. I just love poop jokes. I think they're so funny. I think I'm normalized to them because I have a very special dog. She's a French bulldog, and what's really special about her is that we have to wipe her ass after she shits because she has no tail. So after she comes inside from relieving herself, she, shakes her whole lower half because she doesn't have a tail. So she kind of just like wiggles back and forth, and it like smells like shit everywhere, and she's like getting poop everywhere, and it's awful. And so like we kind of have to like tame her and literally wipe her butt, and if we don't, she'll like scoot on the couch, and then she'll get up and there'll be like a little Picasso painting there. It'll be very cute. I love her. She's my everything. She's my mother. She's my daughter. She's my soulmate, my French bulldog. She's everything but my wing woman. She doesn't really like when I get it on within a vicinity of her. She gets very angry. And one time this happened when I was single and my sophomore year of college, I decided to have a boy over at my family's home while they were gone. And as he was on the way from coming over to my house, he decided to text me that he was in a full leg cast with crutches. And I said, well, this is a fucking nightmare. I have 2 sets of stairs and a cracked out dog. So let's see how this goes. And so he comes over. He's obviously not driving. He has a friend drop him off. I say, this should be good. The best sex always comes from men who don't have cars and can't drive. So, amen. And he, waddles up my stairs. We prop him on my couch. Immediately, my dog goes after his leg, thinking it's a transformer. She's gnawing at his toes. She's gnawing at the cast. I'm like, just ignore her. Like, she'll settle down. Like, let's just lay on the couch, and I'll show you some like weird indie niche film for attention because I'm a film student. So we sit, we're on my couch. Finally, Lucy's kind of died down. Like, she's still freaked out. She's sitting on the other side of the room. And, one thing leads to another. We start kissing, all the stuff. And I'm like, well, we should probably go to my room. I don't want this leg cast on a couch. I realize in that moment that I'm about to have sex with a guy in a leg cast. And a new all-time low for me. And we go to my room. Lucy follows my dog swiftly after. I close the door on her. I say, just a few moments. He's in a leg cast, so it, shouldn't take long. And I close the door. Immediately, it's this piercing bark. It gets to this point. I'm like, just ignore her. I'm like trying to take off my clothes, and all you can hear is her barking. And this man says that he's fine with it, but I know that he's not. I know that it's immediately killing the vibe. And we go, max 15 minutes. She's pounding her head against the door the whole time. It finally goes silent. We finish, it finally goes silent. And I walk out, and my dog has thrown up everywhere, and she's scooted in her butt with poop. I'm sorry. Thank you. My name is Abby Rosen. You can find me Abby J. Rosen on Instagram. And here's that. Thank you.
Because animals don't lie.
They don't.
They don't lie.
And I never saw that man again.
You never saw that man again. Don't forget, I don't have your information, so I can't give you your pictures. Oh, okay. Unless you do that. I'm going to knock this down again. People are just like, what is wrong with you? Listen, I'm going to break up this kid stuff and bring up somebody that I believe is America's sweetheart. Let's give it up for Mark Zaffron.
She is right talking about age. Oh, stop. I figured I would correct some of the misinformation she gave about my children, But I figured not, It just means another fight later on. So, excuse me as I climb up onto this sort of horse. So here I am on YouTube. And not on YouTube, watching YouTube. Lord knows I'd never put my face on YouTube. Not if I could avoid it. Anyhow, here I am watching YouTube, and the funniest thing comes on, and the problem with YouTube is there's a time lag. You don't realize that something is a year old. You think it happened yesterday. So there's this video of this poor guy in St. Pancras Station in England playing the piano. Now, it's the Elton John piano, by the way, in St. Pancras Station. And he's live streaming. He's a content creator. And there are all these Chinese tourists behind him, all dressed in pink. I understand there's this whole thing of aggressive Chinese tourists going around the world today, with Chinese communist flags and everything else. I guess they should go to Wilmington. They'll be more welcome there. So here he is. They have the balls, the nerve, to tell this man, you can't film us. Well, I'm in the middle of St. Pancras Station, the man says. What do you mean I can't film you? Oh, we are filming and it's non-disclosable. Sometimes their use of the English language is a little bit too formal for me, but there's this whole group of them called Big Bunnies or something that are all these rabid Chinese communist, aficionados. They've been brainwashed into thinking that China is the best place in the world. Give me a break. I've never been there, and I'm not in a big mood to go. The Great Wall just isn't that interesting. I can see pictures. I mean, what am I going to look at? The Forbidden City? It's just everything's so big, and the rest of it is just, I can go to Hong Kong. At least I can build there for time with a client. I don't got anything in Shanghai. Anyhow, I find it a little ridiculous, this intrusion of these mainland Chinese people into polite society. They're as bad as Meghan and Harry. Everybody here, oh, they came down to comfort the people. Like, keep the fuck away, these people are saying. Why are you down here? You're only going back to your mansion in Santa Barbara, virtue signaling down here, hugging people. You are not the king and queen of the United States. All right? And Gavin isn't going to appreciate you taking his time away on TV. So here we are in Los Angeles watching it burn. All right? And everybody's pointing fingers at the other when the bottom line is not what's happening now. We're going to live that. But it's after that the fun's going to start. Let's talk about what's going to happen in Los Angeles when the fires die down. Now, the first thing is all these overly paid Hollywood people with houses on the beach in Malibu are going to want to rebuild them. And the 7 evil witches on the California Coastal Committee aren't going to let them. There's going to be a fight as to whether or not the beach is public. Then we're going to start hearing about public access. But the most ridiculous thing I saw during this entire thing was some environmentalists. I'm looking at this guy. Well, the bears and the cougars and the mountain lions, their habitat is being disturbed by this fire. We have to make sure that they're going to be able to come back. And I'm thinking, who's going to hang this guy? Because he's going to start a lawsuit that you can't rebuild the Pacific Palisades because there's some fucking cougar. Cougar's a car. It isn't a real thing. This is California. The fun isn't going to start until the lawsuit started. But the best lawsuit story I heard today was Mark Geragos. Everybody know who Mark Geragos is? The big-ass, fancy criminal lawyer? However you want to pronounce him, it's Armenian. I don't know how to pronounce Armenian. He's Armenian. Please, Sunda, how can you tell an Armenian?
Mark, not today.
It's simple.
He's Greek Armenian.
No, yes, he's mixed. All right. And he lives in Glendale. Anyhow, bottom line is, this guy, all of a sudden, Sonny Hostin, not one of my favorite people, hired Mark Geragos. How you pronounce that name? Geragos. Mark Geragos to take on American Transit Insurance. Now, I know enough about American Transit Insurance to know that this is going to be a lot of fun for me. Because I was looking at the defendants list and just checking off and saying, Felix, Bob Haar, I know these people. I've made money on these people at one time or another in my life, including the surgery centers that they're involved in. And I'm thinking to myself, she may be making a lot of money on television, but her husband ain't an plastic surgeon. He's sitting there doing no-fault fraud. No-fault insurance treatments. That's when you have a car accident and the damages aren't very great, so they send you into the doctor to do the most unintrusive surgery so that they can build up your case. So the doctor makes money, the surgery center makes money, and the lawyer builds up the case and gets a kickback. So that's the way the business runs. She's on TV. The next thing you know, she's going to say it's racist. It isn't racist. Most of the people who had defendants are Jewish. And a bunch of them are not. But the point is, this is the way things are. It isn't always what you think it is. Because she was on TV the other day bitching and moaning how her poor husband can't make a living. And he has to sue the insurance companies for his money. And the reason he has to sue the insurance companies is they're denying his claims because they know he didn't look at the x-ray properly before he stuck a needle in somebody's arm and started doing arthroscopic surgery. And charge the insurance. You know how much that costs, by the way? Excluding the anesthesia and the doctor at $1,800, you're looking at $5,000 to $10,000 out of the insurance policy of Uber. for the driver stopping short and somebody going, "Oh, my arm, my arm." Well, anyhow, and I digress. All right, because I don't have all that much to say. But the thing that happened in St. Pancras Station kind of bothered me. All this man's doing is playing the piano. It's none of your business he's playing the piano. But it got from bad to worse. Then these women, this guy, they come over and they say, "You can't take picture." And he goes, "What do you mean I can't take your picture?" "Oh, you're stealing our image." I'm thinking to myself, what are they, Indians in the 1800s? Thinking we're going to steal their soul? What is this going on around here? This is crazy stuff. And they're standing there in their little pink outfits, looking like them women who walk down, what's the main drag in Washington with the pink, the pussy hat people, whatever they are. What's their name? You know who they are. Look it up. Dude, you do Google, quick. Anyhow, anyhow, here we are. I'm looking at this video and I'm thinking, this is England. England is one of the places, the bastions of free speech. Why is it that a bunch of Chinese tourists can come there, claim that they're not allowed to be recorded, start up a lot of trouble with some guy yelling, and the police take their side? Woman policeman comes over looking like a fire person from L.A., which means big and gay. coming over saying, "Oh, you can't post that on YouTube." Well, what do you mean I can't post it on YouTube? All I'm doing is playing the piano. If they don't want to be in the video, they don't have to be here. Caution to all of you, there is a sign on the door. Be careful, you're being filmed. Okay? So when you walk into a public place, you implicitly give people permission to film you. Because it's a public place. There is nothing you can do about it. And this man, his name is Dr. K. Not the basketball player, that was Dr. J. And none of you know who that was. Anyhow, yeah, well, you got a little gray hair. Anyhow, this guy is just playing his boogie woogie, and he says, "What do you mean I can't play and I can't video? This is what I do." And he goes and he touches the flag of this woman and says, "What is this, a communist flag?" And there's this Chinese guy with him who starts screaming, "Don't you touch her! You're too old!" What are they there, looking for husbands? I mean, the things that go on. And if anybody's been in London recently, it is a major crazy place.
Oh, God.
So, well, the latest is that there's a whole group of Muslims that want their own corner, a speaker's corner, where you're not allowed to say bad things about Muhammad. This is Speaker's Corner in Hyde Park. This is internationally known because you can say whatever the hell you want. I don't get lights.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. I pay the bills. Anyhow, since I got the light, all right, I'd just like to know, when did free speech die? We're not talking about Elon Musk and X. We're not talking about Twitter. We're not talking about TikTok. We're not talking about Sonny and the rest of those women talking about misinformation. It's a freaking piano player. I mean, when did we take away the rights of people to play? It was good, too. Take away the rights of people. It's not as if he was a bad piano. It was a bad piano player could get it and walk over and say, "Listen, you stink." And the whole thing came down to this. They wanted the piano. See, they can't even tell the truth then. When they tell you they're not invading Taiwan, don't believe them. All right? They just can't tell the truth. She complained, he on piano for 40 minutes. He's there every day, lady. This is his day gig, playing in the subway station. There was a little pan there at the bottom for his coins. I mean, they wanted to play a song for the Chinese New Year and put it on Chinese TV. And on that I leave you, freedom to the Uyghurs.
Wow, Mark. You're amazing. I gotta tell you. You crack me up because you're like reading the New York Post. He's always on point where I can't do that kind of stuff, but that's okay. Because I'm still with y'all, and we got the comedy of Ethan Cristal. Let's do this, Ethan.
Well, I am now.
That's right.
I am now.
Ready here.
Thank you. Thank you. Too kind, all of you. All right. Take out the scroll. All right. Any of you guys seen that movie? What's it called? 17 again? You guys seen that? So I watched the movie the other day. If you haven't seen it, basically it's about this average 30-something-year-old guy. And one day he wakes up and finds himself inside the body of a 17-year-old. And it was an all right movie, but what I found most interesting about it was actually based off a book. Yeah, it's called The Autobiography of Jerry Seinfeld. Let's see. When I was little, my parents used to call me their little Cupid. Not because I necessarily looked like a Cupid or anything, but because apparently I forced them to get married. My girlfriend, she's great with gift giving. I mean, if I even slightly mention that I want something, she'll get it for me. So, now with our anniversary around the corner, I'm trying to, manipulate the system. Like, I was with her the other day, and my computer wouldn't turn on, so I was like, why won't this computer turn on? If only I had a new girlfriend. Let's see. My girlfriend, no, I'm just kidding. I do love her. Comedy. Sometimes that she gets on my head, though. She likes playing little games with me. Like, I had to sleep over with my friends, and you can answer that. So, I come back from a sleepover, and she says to me, wow, didn't know you like dick so much. And I know. I was like, I mean, seriously? Do you actually believe that? And she goes, well, it's actually written all over your face. Because, like, Sharpie, yeah, there we go. Thank you. My grandpa, he's a fighter. For the longest time, he's wanted to get his license. And year after year, he fails his wellness check. So eventually, in my family, we had enough of that, and we decided that we just take the test for him. And by a miracle, he actually passed. See. I like to give away to. I just found out about the Louisiana Purchase, so right now, I didn't pay attention in history. Just found out. So, it's not that funny. And so yeah, I've been trying to, pay to, the Native American reparations, and honestly, I think some people like to tell me that I'm wasting my money, but the way I see it now, I don't feel as bad when I lose money at Pachanga. Let's see. No, but seriously though, I am a charitable person. My dream is to set a foundation to get more meals in Africa, because I always seem to lose weight on vacation. Let's see. My aunt, she's kind of nuts. She believes in reincarnation. Basically, her husband died, so the family, we decided we get her a dog. But now she believes that the dog is a reincarnation of my uncle. I know. My family told me to go along with it, but I don't want to get humped anymore. My ex was Catholic, so we decided that we abstain from sex until marriage. And then one day she comes home bawling, tells me she caught AIDS. So I broke up with her on the spot. And the thing is, I wouldn't wish AIDS on anybody, but if you're in a committed relationship, you've got to be a special kind of asshole to steal someone's razor. I thought that was a good one. Yeah, but no, a part of me does kind of miss her. I mean, I don't want to like objectify her, but she had these amazing boobs. Like, once again, I don't want to objectify her. I mean, her face was stunning too, I bet. I like watching porn. But sometimes when I watch porn, I feel like a cuck. So I've been trying to watch more POV videos. But sometimes I really just wish they'd move the POV to a closer chair. Oh, this one's fucking stupid. I'm gonna do it anyways. So I'm not in. I like to keep politics out of my comedy, but I was on Instagram the other day and I got an ad for the Kamala campaign, and I went down to the comments and the top one said, "Didn't age well." And the thing is, I mean, I just don't agree with that. I mean, if you just look at the statistics, I've masturbated to her 3 times today. I like to do I'm a big conspiracy theorist guy. Right now I have this crazy theory that Jesus actually came back in the 1900s, but nobody could actually see him from inside the camps. I fumbled the delivery. All right, that's my set. Find me on Ethan Crystal, Instagram. Yeah.
Can you spell that, please?
ETHANCSI. Wait, how do I spell? I don't know how to spell it. You guys can figure it out.
You're too cute, right? All right, let's get him up here because he's chomping at the bit. Griffin James, let's do this, Griff. Come on, let's do this. Oh, give me a piece.
All right. It's been a good night.
Yeah.
Soon just dropped that iPad 80 times. We've had the loudest ringtones ever go off. That's how I know some of you guys are old. Your ringtone sounds like an Amber Alert. It like shocks me out of my seat. Like so aggressive. How's everyone doing? Are you guys good with the fires and stuff? All right, good. I evacuated. I just got back. It was crazy. I was in Brentwood, and yeah, I was at my girlfriend's place, and we were just watching the news, and the fire was getting closer and closer, and she was freaking out, and she was like, "Babe, are you going to be able to protect me?" And I was like, "I'm a man wearing Ugg boots. We got to get out of here right now. We got to go right now." And speaking of Santa Barbara, Mark was talking about Santa Barbara. That's where I went. I went to Santa Barbara because she's from there. She has a friend. And I was in a mansion, literally. Like, swear I was in the same neighborhood as Harry and Meghan. And a mansion is beautiful. And we were there way too long. I stretched that out. The owner of the house is like, "What's going on with the apartment? Are you guys all good?" And I was like, "It actually burnt down. I got to move in. I got to stay." This has been a crazy week. Has anyone else just been watching the news 24/7 the whole week? It's been crazy. It's scary. There's no silver linings in this, really, because it's so upsetting. The only thing that's brought me joy during this time is watching the sign language interpreter during the press conferences. He's the best. What I love about it is the sign language interpreter does not match the energy of the person talking. Because it'll be the fire chief and he's all gruff and sad, and then the sign language interpreter is way too sassy with it. The fire chief is like, "This is an out of control, devastating tragedy. We've lost countless lives and 10,000 structures." And then the sign language interpreter is like, like, Jesus. And good for him. Because we're performers. We get it. It's like, that's his moment. He's been waiting for this. You know, it's like he's been at like boring C-SPAN event. It's just he's getting no views. And now all of a sudden, this is his big shot, you know? Probably called his mom. He's like, "Mom, the Palisades are on fire. Turn the TV on. I'm going to be a star." Be a star. I'm traumatized though. It's been scary. I seriously am. I'm leaving again tomorrow because I'm scared of the air. I'm just scared of everything. I'm so traumatized. I'm never using the fire emoji ever again. That was my favorite emoji too. I was comment that on every Instagram post. I love that. Next time my girlfriend sends me a photo of a delicious pasta, I'm just giving her a thumbs up. I don't care. I don't care if it's passive aggressive. I don't care. Because I've been on social media too, and I don't know if you guys have seen this, but everybody's posting like, "Thanks for all the texts. Thanks for everyone checking in. I can't respond to everybody, but thank you so much." That's hurting my feelings. I want to post something like, "I would love one text." Like, I haven't got anything. No one's reached out. I've been so lonely. Just had to go on hikes and smoke cigarettes and ash them on the hike. Like, someone check in. Are we still doing New Year's resolutions now, or is that just over with? Are we canceling I feel like we're canceling the year now. Yeah, that's how it feels, right? Because I had a New Year's resolution. It feels silly now, but I want to stop cussing. You know, I just don't want to cuss anymore, because it's like I've been cussing so much that my autocorrect has given up on me, you know? I used to get autocorrected all the time when I would cuss and text, and now my autocorrect is like, we know you're not talking about a duck. Just stop. Because I wasn't allowed to cuss growing up or drink soda. And it's like I kind of treated them the same way. Like, when I left my parents, I just went crazy. Like, I said all the words, and then I also would like fill up all the, you know, in the soda fountain, just like mix them all together. I was mixing stuff that didn't make sense. Like, Mountain Dew and Dr. Pepper doesn't go together. You can't call someone a bitch dick. Like, I was just like mixing stuff up that didn't make sense. I'm gonna do like early 1900s cussing from now on if I really have to. I like when you ever see someone stub their toe and they go, Jesus H. Christ. You ever heard someone say that? I like that because it implies Jesus has a middle name. I'm like, oh, what's the H stand for? Got me wondering what that H is for. Hebrew? Oh, damn. I was hoping it was something dumb like Hubert. You know? Feel like it would ruin. Yeah, exactly. I feel like it would ruin Christianity though if it was a dumb middle name. He's like, Jesus is like, love thy neighbor. It's like, yeah, whatever, Hubert, shut up. Yeah, it's stupid. Oh yeah, I'm a man, as you guys can tell. I don't relate to a lot of male things. Some of the ladies in here might not even know this, but every man has had this experience. If there's a lot of sports bars across the country, if you go into the men's restroom, they got naked photos of women everywhere in the men's bathroom. I think I'm supposed to like that, but I just don't. It just doesn't connect. I've never been like, yeah, I want to look at some ass while I pee. Yeah. Go to the table all turned on. Come back to the table like I peed, I pooed, I came. Let's eat some mac and cheese, you know? Happy anniversary. I was in this bathroom. It was so awkward because there's 2 urinals. Ladies, you don't have that either, but they had a naked photo of a woman over each urinal, and I was just like next to this guy. We each had a lady. I was like, are we supposed to high five, or like, what do we do here? And I'm toxic, and I caught him looking at my girl. I'm like, hey, eyes on your own girl. She's mine. He was like, eyes off my penis. I was like, all right, fair. I don't really like sports. I don't. I like high school basketball, but not in like a creepy way. I like when they put the special ed kid in the last 2 minutes and they let him score a basket and everyone goes crazy. That's my favorite video because it just warms my heart. It just like makes me feel like I can believe in something, you know? I just love it, you know? I don't want to cheer for a millionaire. Like, I don't want to watch pro sports. It's like, you don't need my support, but this guy does. He's taken stats all year, and Lord knows he loves stats. And now this is his big moment. I was talking to my friends. We're all technically Laker fans. And they're like, oh, all I want to see is LeBron and Bronny play together in the finals. And I was like, all I want to see is a special ed kid hit a buzzer beater, and then everyone's going crazy, and the mascot takes his head off, and it's his dad home from war. That's my Super Bowl. That would like be an overload of emotions. Oh my God. Isn't it? Those are my favorite things. I love that. Oh man. Well, thank you guys for letting me I got a little vulnerable. I wasn't sure how the fire stuff was gonna go, but I feel like we need a joke, you know.
Okay.
And it feels good, like, could feel this, like, is this a safe space? I gotta ask that.
Yes.
No, because I'm Gen Z. Like, no, I gotta ask, because if, like, I don't feel safe, I will shoot everyone in here. That's our thing. All right, thank you, guys. Oh. Griffin James 14 on Venmo. Thank you. Thank you.
I love you. He's
Love
so.
you too.
Aren't they cute? Oh, let me tell you, I need him strong and handsome, and I like them in the night. So let's bring up the comedy of the one and only Sosa Night. Is he here? Kidding. There you go. How could I miss you? You know, we looking out the window.
Man, what's going on tonight? You know, recently for Christmas last year, you know, I went to the movies, you know what I mean? And, like, you know what I mean? I went to film school. I love going to the movies. I love sitting down really watching a movie. But when I'm sitting down, I see this family walk in and they carrying a fucking baby, right? Which, I mean, you know, bringing your baby to the movie is already a piece of shit thing, right? But this is Christmas Day, and I went to go see the movie Nosferatu. Has any of y'all seen Nosferatu? I didn't like that fucking movie. You know what I mean? And it might have been because of this fucking baby. Cause look, I'm telling you, like it's a pretty good looking movie and all. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna explain. You know, throughout most of the movie, it's just the vampire fucking the girl through the astral realm or some shit. You know what I mean? Like he's sending ghost dick across. You know, that's really the movie. You know what I mean? And the whole time, you know, I'll be captivated. I'll be like, damn, she's getting fucked right now. Then stupid ass baby run across the screen and shit. You know what I mean? It's pissing me off. You know. And I don't want to be that guy that screams, "Shut that baby the fuck up." You don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean? You be that guy. It's not a good look. You know? So, you know, I guess the worst or best case scenario happens. The baby ends up falling in front of the screen and just starts crying, right? You know, wah, wah, you know what I mean? You know, his retarded parents are just kind of staring at him. They don't really know what to do. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't surprised. Any person who brings a baby to the film Nosferatu is... that baby doomed, you know what I mean? So this baby's crying, which, you know, I mean, like, you know, fuck my movie. But, you know, there's one silver lining that popped up, you know what I mean? I was able to be that guy that screamed, "Shut that baby the fuck up," you know what I mean? And, you know, chaos erupted in the theater, you know what I mean? My only words of wisdom is don't go to Culver City movie theater. They're ghetto. They don't do it right. Man, it was an interesting conversation that I came into when I walked in the room. It was about it was about Jewish people and white people, like they're different. You know what I mean? Which, you know, like they probably are, you know. But you know, and I think as a fellow black person, you know, as black people, you guys are just the same. I really wanted to say that, you know what I mean? Like, I always be laughing at that shit. I'd be like, man, like, they be talking about Jewish people, like, really different. But, like, y'all just white people. You know what I mean? Like, it would be like calling light-skinned black people not black. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, it's just kind of crazy. Like, y'all just different shades of white people at the end of the day. You know, that wasn't even like a joke. That was just, you know, an observation from me. 22-year-old black man. You know, being 22 in like a professional job setting kind of like sucks. Cause number one, like I work with all fucking old people, which also sucks. Because like they kind of expect me to have energy, you know what I mean? Like expecting me to be like the fucking, whoa, what's up, guys? You know what I mean? And I'm not that, you know what I mean? I'm fucking, you know, I'm like an old man myself, you know what I mean? I kind of just like to water around and shit, and, you know what I mean? But like the worst thing about it though is like no one likes to take me serious. You know what I mean? They all like to underestimate me. Like recently, I'm just gonna, you know, I'm gonna rant a little bit. You know what I mean? I had to file an HR complaint at my job to be that guy. You know what I mean? Which I mean, you know, that was my first time ever doing that. Cause yeah, before I worked this job, I usually worked at like Five Guys or some shit. Which like, I mean, you know, if I had a dispute, I just, you know, called the manager a bitch and walked off. You know what I mean? I mean, you know, you're not filing HR at McDonald's. You feel me? Like, we're not gonna get anything. You know. Anyway, I don't even know where I'm going is. I just know that people kept fucking with me. You know what they did to me? The day before Christmas, right? I come to work. I'm super sick. I work in homeless services. I'm like a social worker, you know what I mean? So I'm taking clients, I'm talking to them. I'm horribly sick day before Christmas. No one's supporting me. No one's giving me any help. They're just sending me clients. I end up throwing up on myself, right? Horribly, like, you know what I mean? Which, I mean, it was fucking terrible. I took a picture of myself, you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. I just wanted to keep the memory, you know what I mean? And I took a picture, I just fucking threw up on myself. And I walked downstairs, all my shit in a bag, and I was like, man, I threw up on myself, like, I think I might have to go home, you know what I mean? And they fucking, they're saying that, I mean, they're like, oh, okay, so it's like, you can go home, you know what I mean? So I go home. When I get home, I get a call from my supervisor. They're like, yo, Sosa, why did you leave all your throw up uncleaned? I'm like, the fuck, they want me to clean up my own throw up? What does this look like? Like, we have a cleaner. It was a whole cleaning person there. He just never he didn't want to clean up throw up. This nigga could clean up human shit, but he can't clean up my throw up. Man, I don't like that guy. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna tell you. I think you can tell I don't like that guy. I do not like that guy. You know what I mean? Let me tell some fucking jokes. Stop ranting about my job. Let's see. I gotta open up the notes app. Oh, man, this shit happened to me, man. I was at work, you know what I mean? I was driving, you know what I mean? And I work in Watts, right? You know what I mean? I work in Watts, which I can tell by the room, nobody here goes to Watts. You know what I mean? I can just, maybe you, probably not, nah, nigga. You know, I can tell no here. But, when you go down to Watts and you drive on Figueroa, you know what I mean? Like, you really do see the hoes working, you know what I mean? Which I will say, you know what I mean? I am impressed by how, on it they are. They be out there 6 o'clock in the morning, early as shit. That's not the point of the story. The point of the story was I was driving the fucking van, and I see I see a transaction happening, you know what I mean? Prostitute, man talking, you know what I mean? And, you know what I mean? I'm a busy man. I start honking at him, three of them just turn around. Fuck you, motherfucker! You shut your bitch ass up, nigga. You know what I mean? I'm like, like I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? So I roll up, and I kid you not, when I rolled up, I don't know if you ever thought about this, but like Figueroa prostitutes, they look kind of like, I ain't gonna lie, they look bad as fuck. They're like kind of like sirens. You feel me? Like they kind of they got fat asses, big. They kind of get you in. You know what I mean? But then when you get up closer to them, they look like Smeagol. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Which, I mean, that just fucked me all the way. I rolled down my window. I was like, you need to move. I don't care about this. You're in front of a school. She was like, shut up, bitch. I throw my fucking heel at you. I said, oh. Never mind. I just rolled up the window. Just drove off. You know what I mean? That wasn't even the joke. This is just a random tale. Honestly, actually, this is something I really did to feel though. I think it's terrible that shit's allowed to even be like around. You know what I mean? Like I'm serious, dude. Like if prostitution was as bad as it is on the South Central as it was saying like Beverly Hills, oh my God, it'd be a fucking catastrophe. You know what I mean? I mean, I'd be driving down the street and I'll see like a little old lady, a little fat old lady walking her little daughter, like a little kindergarten school teacher, kindergarten kid, walking to school, past like 3 prostitutes, just selling ass. And they always sell ass in front of a church, which I don't know if that's I don't know if that's something to that. You know what I mean? It probably is. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. Man, where are you from, brother? I'm not gonna do crowd work. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna be that fucking. I'm not gonna be that guy that does crowd work at the open mic with a bunch of comedians. All right, I'm gonna tell some jokes up here. Let's see. Yes, sir. These fires has been pretty crazy. Nah, I'm sorry. He was talking about the fire. The fires has been pretty crazy. You know what I mean? Pretty bad. Some people got displaced, pretty bad. That's it. That's all I gotta say on the fires. It's fucking. It really is terrible, man. I was really in fear for a couple of days. I was like, man, the ash was getting to me and shit. You know what I mean? I had to. I filed like 3 false work claims to get out of work because of it. Hey, I'm honest. I was like, I got asthma. You know what I mean? Which I don't even. Do you ever go to the doctor? It's really easy to lie about saying you have asthma. You just walk in there and be like, I can't breathe. They go, really? here you go. And they sign the paper. You ain't, man, I don't know. Maybe that's something about our health insurance companies. I don't know, man. Shit's bad out here. Anyway, that was my time. My name is Sosa Knight. You know, you can find me at sosa.eknight. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. And bring back the...
Hey, Night with a K.
Night with a K. Yeah, Night with a K, not Night with an N.
Yes. We got enough N's in our name. I'd like to bring up the director of the Film Actors Cafe. I introduced to you the one and only Aaron McIntyre. Let him hear you.
They said they didn't want no old people up here, so I decided to show up. Speaking of Smeagol, yeah. Speaking of Smeagol, hey, and by the way, it is a safe space. It's very safe here, okay? I'm very safe. I feel safe. Do you feel safe? We all feel safe. You feel safe? Good. I am actually glad that we do have a sprinkling of color in here tonight. It's very nice because I don't like white people. I feel very judged by white people. You know, I feel like they're always judging me. And I just feel like, you know, people of color, you've already convicted me. So that's fine. I'm good with that. I am totally good with that. I would much rather be convicted than judged. Because judging, you never know. There's a question, right? Conviction, boom, you're done. It's the way you are. Yes. And, you know, I'm a bald white guy, you know, I can handle that. I can handle that, you know. It's pretty sexy. The bald used to be a big thing. You know, Telly Savalas and Yul Brynner, right? Jean-Luc Picard, right? He was bald. No, wait a minute. It was Jean-Luc Picard. No, he hasn't been born yet because the Federation hasn't been. Patrick Stewart, thank you. I was confused there for a minute. I am mentally ill. I am, and I love it. I actually learned so much from my mental illness. I'm bipolar, so I went through most of my life. It wasn't until a few years ago I got diagnosed. I'm medicated now, so I won't explode all over you. Don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you. But yeah, it really is. And by the way, bipolar does not mean that I live on both poles. So, you know, it's not that big of a commute, but it is a motherfucker. Okay? The commute is much worse than bicoastal. I can tell you that. But yeah, I learned a lot from it because I learned that we're all one. And it's a beautiful place. And we're all molecules, and we're all cells, and we're all atoms, and we're all quarks, and we're all connected, man. You know, and life is beautiful, and there's music everywhere, and there's lights. And there's about 6 months of that. And it's great, you know. And then things start to turn. And, you know, next thing you know, you're sitting in a shopping cart being pushed away by a homeless person and sobbing, you know, so it's both sides. And now that I'm medicated, it just happens every day. You know, so it's like up in the morning, maybe I'll come down a little bit at noon, and then I'll come about halfway up in the afternoon. And so it's just, I can handle that, because when you are depressed, people don't want to be around you. I don't know why. Why? And I'll tell you another thing. If you know, how many people here are mentally ill? Everybody fucking raise your hand, because we're all fucking mentally ill. Everybody is mentally ill. We've all got something, right? We either got OCD, blah, 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 blah. Most of us have Tourette's at some point, you know, when we're in our car and somebody cuts us off. Right? We've all experienced that. Somebody pisses you off in a BMW. The BMW. How many people in here have a BMW? BMWs? Do you have a BMW? She doesn't want to admit it. It's kind of like a Trump supporter. Oh, I don't want to admit it. I'm not in a comedy club. BMW actually took out all... They don't make BMWs with blinkers anymore because nobody was using them. Fucking never use those sons of a bitches. But yeah, I get a little Tourette's when I get cut off. I also get Tourette's when I see a BMW pulled over by the cops, but it's a different kind of Tourette's. It's like... They drive like right next to a truck, and they'll drive exactly. They'll drive up to them, and then they'll pull around, and they'll just drive right the same speed as the truck, and they're just going. I don't understand. I'm also a military brat. Anybody, parents or anybody in the military? Anybody in? No. Well, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's just a blast when you're a kid. You know, you're growing up, and every 2 years you're moving. You know, moving around, making all kinds of new friends. And it usually does take about 2 years to make all your friends, and then you fucking move again, right? Which I didn't make very many friends because I was weird. I was one of those really weird kids, you know. So every time we'd move, I'd think, you know, this is great. I can just become a new person. You know, I'll just act differently. I'll be different. And so, you know, we'd get to the new place, and I'd get like a leather jacket, you know. I'd get on some skinny jeans. We didn't have skinny jeans. We had bell bottoms that were like fucking huge, and you'd trip over them all the time. It was really ridiculous. We dressed really weird. But anyway, I'd get there, you know, and I'd see a girl that I liked, you know, and I'd come over and I'd go, hey, what's up? And she'd go, are you talking to me? And I'd go, yes, my lady. That was every response I got to any girl that I was trying to pick up on when I was in high school is, you are so weird. And I was, and I am, and I love it. I'm proud of it. You know, the thing about the white guilt, I have made a code of ethics for myself. I don't give money to homeless white people. I also don't give money to homeless people who have pets. Because they have food right on the end of their leash or in their shopping cart. I don't give money to homeless people who juggle, right? The jugglers, and the jugglers are the people who are like, or they're standing there like this. I don't give money to them because they don't need money. They need an agent. Am I right? They need an agent. I will date a homeless woman, though. Yeah, I'll date pretty much anybody. But I will date a homeless person because, you know, no matter where you drop them off, they're home. You don't have to drive across town or go to a specific place. You know, you just drop her off and she's home. Fell on my head a lot. I think that may have something to do with who I am. I fell on my head a lot, like a lot. One of the times there was a show called Manic. If you know who that is, he was somebody Connors, I think. Mike Connors as Mannix. And they play this really cool music, and they do this like they do this montage at the beginning of all the shit that he did, like pulling guns and running around corners. And there was one thing where he ran up to a railing, you know? And you know how you do that thing where you run up and you go, you put your hand on it and you jump over it? So I thought that was so cool when I was 8. So I started doing it on our couch, and my mother caught me one time. She goes, don't do that. Don't do that. She didn't say it like that, but she said it more like, don't do that. No, that wasn't a very good impression either. But anyway, she told me not to do it. So I thought, well, okay. And then she was back in the back of the house vacuuming. So I knew she was far away. I knew there was the noise. She wouldn't hear me. So I took my chance, and I ran, and I jumped up, and my foot got caught on the back of the couch, and I went, boom! Right on my head. Knocked me out cold. I woke up staring up at my mother, who was standing there with the vacuum cleaner vacuuming around me, going, I told you not to climb on that fucking couch. And so I got up, and there's like a little dirt chalk outline around me, and she just kept me up. She's like, you can't go to sleep, can't go to sleep. They wouldn't take me to the doctor ever. Okay, second one. This is a better one. Second one, I fell out of a second-story window. I fell out of a 2-story dove. I swear. I was standing up. This is the stupidest thing. I'm standing up. The window's here, and there's a screen, and I'm squirting my dog through the window. And the dog walked toward the house, so I just leaned out so I could see him, and literally dove right up. I don't, I completely, all I saw was like that much light, and I don't remember anything, but it felt like I went across the field, and I turned around and I watched myself falling over and over and over and over and over out of this window. And I realized that was a sign that was what my life was going to be, just mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. But I woke up in a bathtub full of bloody water. My sister was cleaning me up before they took me to the hospital. This is my family, right? So spit on it, rub it in the dirt. Anybody heard of that? Which is really difficult, to spit on it and rub it in the dirt when you got a fucking 6-inch cut in the back of your head. 8 stitches was all it took. I fell on a doghouse. Yeah, I fell on the dog who was running toward the house. Fortunately, it wasn't one of those peanuts dog houses. I think they would have been a little bit bigger than 8 stitches. Huh? Yeah, probably would have done something there, yeah. Maybe my hair would still be there. I'm not really sure. And what is it with the people with the fucking, the man buns? The buns on top of their head? And they got the buns on top of their head, but then they shave the sides of their head. And is that like a fuck you to people who are balding? It's like, look, I can grow all the hair up here, and you can't grow it here. It's just insane. I don't like them. I don't think they're good. I am also in recovery. Nobody really? Usually that's a clap line. Usually that's a fucking clap line. Usually it's like, oh, good for you. Yeah, I have not had anything to drink in about 23 hours. So I'm on my way over to an AA meeting right after this because I'm going to go pick up my little birthday chip, because they give out birthday chips every time you have a momentous birthday. And the first momentous birthday is a day, so 24 hours. So I'm going to go get my 24-hour chip. I've got about 8,652 of them. And as soon as I hit 10,000, I'm done. I'm going to quit. All right, I believe that I better get back to the station. So I'm going to... Oh, yeah. We're going to start the classes up in February, mid-February. Acting classes, you can check it out. There, also, if you get my information, I usually do like an hour-long consultation to where you can kind of find out if you want to take classes or not. And... I'd love to do it. And you can find me at aaronmcintyre.com or filmactorscafe.com or Aaron McIntyre everywhere. So it's A-E-R-O-N. It's not A-A-R-O-N. So don't fucking call me A-A-Ron. All right, that's it. Let's bring up Sunda.
Great set, man. See what happens when I'm on that camera? I gotta bring up this female before she kills me. All right? She's like chomping at the bit. All right. I love her. I love her. I love her. Let's give it up for the one and only Shelley Zorfus, who manages to change into St. John's that fast. You're going up. Don't worry. It happens. It's in. It's out. You're having fun, right?
Yeah, I'm having a good time. It's almost done.
Okay, how you guys doing?
Good.
If you say good, fuck you. I am scared to death with all of these fires. Okay, I asked my old friend Johnny. I said, Johnny, you know him. How you doing? He goes, fabulous. I said, are you fucking kidding me? You're fabulous? Half of LA is burning down. I'm like, I have 2 suitcases packed, ready to bolt, and I'm in the Miracle Mile, mid-Wilshire. There's no brush. There's no houses. There's no nothing, and I'm really scared. Anyway, a few years ago, my oldest son called me from the East Coast. He said, Mom, can I visit you for 2 weeks? I said, sure, Andrew, come on down. So he comes. And he stays, and I have to, he stays forever. He stayed for 8 months. Do you know what that means? I had to pay for his Chick-fil-A and his McDonald's and his Subway. And all he does is sit home on the computer, the Xbox, the Nintendo, the Switch. He never leaves the house. So I go, listen, Andrew, this is LA. You can't just sit inside all day. So I take him over to the Formosa Cafe, which used to have comedy. They no longer do. I don't know why, but... And there's this MC, and there's only like 4 or 5 tables, and he's asking everybody about, what they do. And he goes, you're a couple, and you're a couple, and wait a minute, you can't be a couple. You must be his mother. And the rest of the night, he makes fun of me. I'm okay with him making fun of me. I mean, I was the oldest person in the room. But he opened his mouth one time too many. He's up there on the stage. I can't take it anymore. I stand up. I stop his show. I go, you talking about me? You're not talking about me. I still swallow. And I said, and you know what? If this comic thing doesn't work out, I hear they're hiring at the TSA. But really, we got along great. He actually gave me a $25 gift card to Starbucks. But what he doesn't know is Starbucks is using all GMO, and I don't do GMO. But I didn't tell him that. I said, oh, I'll figure out what to use for the $25 card. That's a true story. So I'm going to the airport, if there is one anymore, I don't know. But I'm going to the airport, and... I see that X-ray machine. They're lying to you about their not having radiation. It's like 10,000 times more than an X-ray machine. So they're lying to you. And all those TSA workers, they're getting cancer. So you better be careful. So I go. You know what? I can't go through that machine. I can't do any more radiation. So they go, ma'am, step left. And I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. It takes them like 15 minutes to get someone who's going to pat me down. They should know there are going to be people who don't want to go through the X-ray machine. And I see this really cute guy. He's got a big stick. He calls me up. He says, ma'am, spread them. I spread my arms. I spread my legs. Are you okay? I said, listen, buddy, I haven't had any in 5 years. Could you just give me another minute? And I said, and if this TSA thing isn't working out for you, I've got some really good connections at a little comedy club on Formosa. So I like to shop, and I like the old-fashioned brick-and-mortar stores. You guys in the front probably don't even know what that means. And Macy's is my favorite. And I hear, I'm perusing the aisles, and I hear, attention, Macy's shoppers. Getting married? Join our bridal registry. Need fine china? Need silverware? Join our bridal registry. And I stop. I go, no. That's not where the money is. They should listen to me. What they should be saying is, attention, Macy's shoppers. Uncoupling? Getting a divorce? Need a sleeping bag? A wine rack? Join our divorce registry. So, recently, I mean, like the other day, they said that we have so much plastic in our system, that we have so much estrogen, that we are swallowing a credit card size of plastic every week. Have you guys heard that? Every week. And I'm going, holy crap, a credit card a week? I'm rich. I'm rich. So, I've only had one real date in LA in many, many years, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I mean, I'm a little heavy. I have a big mouth. I have a heavy accent, but I don't know what happened. I had so many lovers. I had several husbands, but I come here and I can't find anybody. So, so I'm doing what everybody else does. I'm on Bumble. I mean, and when I don't get asked out, I'm doing the asking. I figure, well, you know what? Bumble once a day is not enough. Let me do Bumble 3 times a day. Something's got to happen. So yesterday, I'm watching a YouTube video, and I see this 180-year-old tortoise in a zoo. And they decide to give him a social media account, a love account. And this tortoise makes a match with a tortoise from Asia, and they put the two together, and now they're lovers, and they're 180 years old each. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? So when I was your age, when I was your age, if you wanted to have a baby, it was very, very. There was a routine to it. You know what you did? You had sex. But this Generation Z shit, they don't do that anymore. You know what they do? They go to the fridge. They go to the bank. They go to the sperm bank. They get it put inside of them. And that's how they have babies. They don't even know what sex is. And most of them don't drive. Isn't that interesting? Most of you Generation Z don't drive. They go, I don't want to pay for insurance, and the car's a hassle. And so they'll Uber, and what's that? Waze, the thing with the machine going, what's it called? Waymo around till the other day. The guy's sitting in Waymo, and all of a sudden something goes wrong, and it's going in circles, and he calls for help, and nobody knows how to help him, and this really happened. And they go round and round, and he can't get out. The thing is locked. So, years ago, there were a lot of psychiatrists and psychologists to help children find their way in the world. So what happened was the psychologist or the psychiatrist would diagnose some kid, you're bipolar or you're ADD, whatever it is. You don't need psychologists and psychiatrists anymore. Let me tell you, by the time these kids are 6 years old, you have bipolar, and you have ADD, and you have ASD, and they know more about diagnoses than any doctor could ever dream of. And I have a beef. About that. It used to be they could diagnose you with autism. And they could, I'll skip you. They could diagnose you with ADD or ADHD. But they figured out a better way. You know what they started to do? Instead of having it being two separate diagnoses, they put it together, and you have ADD/autism, because now they get paid twice. For dual diagnosis, they get paid twice. So there's no more just ADD or just autism. It's all one thing. So when I was young and trying to find my first husband, long before my second husband, what did I do? I didn't want to date somebody who had extra baggage. You know what that's like. I wanted somebody pure and clean and, a stand-up kind of guy. And if he had extra baggage, he was divorced, he was paying child support, he was paying alimony. I didn't want any of that. I wanted a first-timer. So I learned to stay away from those guys. But now at my age, it's just the opposite. If a guy never was married, he never paid child support, he never had kids, now he has extra baggage. Exactly the opposite. All right. Thank you, everybody. I haven't done this in a while, so thanks. And I guess I don't know how to use Instagram, really. I'm on there somewhere. I don't know.
You do.
I don't know how, but I am on Facebook. Shelley Zorfas, Tzorfas. It's not my fault. It's my second It's not. It's my second ex-husband's name. I had nothing to do with it. Okay.
Mike, get a stand.
That's as close to a guy as I'm.
That's how you. Hey, give it up for Shelley. Oh my God, she's talking about ADHD, ADD. Did you guys take your Addy? Are you ready for some Addy? Because we're coming up with Patty. Let's do this. Patty.
It's a long way up. Don't let your enthusiasm wane. Come on. Keep it going. For Shelley Zorfas.
Yes.
Shelley Zorfas. She swallows? I don't know if you guys know. You've become the most interesting woman in the entire room to me. Shelley, give it up for her. That was funny. Come on. This is great. You are great. All of you are great. A very beautiful, breathtaking group of people. There's a couple shitbags here, but I'm not going to point them out. But it's the good looking. There is more testosterone in this room than at a gay rodeo. I would say that. Thank God for the little blast of estrogen that we've had. Thank God. No, again, she swallows. It's a gal after my own heart. God bless you. God bless you, one and all. I want to thank Aaron. Give it up for Aaron. He is it me or is he sexy Captain Crunch? I could just imagine him in the cereal mascot section of Pornhub. You know what I mean? Like double teaming My Little Pony with bisexual Tony the Tiger. I get a mental picture of that. You've done work in adult films, have you not?
Yes, I am.
Here's a nice thing I like to say. Like when you get, I'm a little older than you guys, right? So when you get someone like me, and you get someone like Aaron, here it means something. It means there's 2 empty seats in the balcony at the Muppet Show. Because I'm trying to get in a roundabout way. Trying to tell you I just had a birthday. Thank you. North of 50, which is a fancy way of saying I'm 60. 61. You know, there's not a lot of female. This looks like the waiting room at my urologist's office. It's a little male centric. That's what I'm trying to say. 61. It's monumental. I recently I sat on my balls. Very first time. Changes a man. Because then you're always worried you're going to do it again. You know. Just trying to tell you. You know, like 61. All right. Look, face not bad for 61. Not bad, right? My neck is 73. My phone knows because it keeps on sending me coupons for turtlenecks. And my testicles are on a race for ground level. As we speak, gravity is having its way. The left one is in the lead. I don't know if you know that. The left one is the senior partner. The left one does all the heavy fucking lifting, okay? That's the most important one. People don't know that. But I'm a mama's boy, but I'm a mama's boy of a certain age. Like here's what happens. Some folks is like when you get older, people die that are like your peers. You know, and like two of my friends died recently, and it made me mad and it made me sad at the same time because one of them owed me a fucking lot of money. And it's difficult. It's a difficult grieving process. That's all I'm telling you. You know what I'm talking about. It happens. And I'm a mama's boy, but I'm a mama's boy of a certain age. My mom's dead. Either that or she just stopped speaking to me about 3.5 years ago. If you knew my mother, you wouldn't find that hard to believe. She had like a borderline personality that knew no fucking borders. Kamala Harris was better at recognizing borders than my mother. And she had mental illness, and she used to say just crazy shit. She'd go, Patty, I may be a schizophrenic, but at least I have each other. But like I come from Ireland. I was born in Ireland, and I come here, and we don't believe in mental illness. My mother was mocking people that believed that there was such a thing as mental illness. She would just, when she had episodes, she just called it brief episodes of demonic possession. I'm telling you the fucking truth. Brief, like she had a deranged. She used to say stuff to me like, she go, Patty, the way people treat you when they think you have cancer, and the way people treat you when they want to fuck your sister are exactly the same. I'd be like, Mommy, can I have a Pop-Tart? Where's my doggy? I was young at the time. It wasn't right. And here's what she did towards the end. She would just tell anybody, I mean any fucking buddy, random. She would walk up and say, I voted for Obama. I voted for Obama. Like, Mom, you don't have to tell the waitress you voted for Obama. Here's the twist, though. My mother would have never voted for Obama. She did it because she liked to get around. My mother was an immigrant, a very strict Catholic, and a devout racist. Devout racist. If she saw Barack Obama walk on water, she'd say, I told you they couldn't swim, Patty. And a devout Catholic. Right, like a devout Catholic. She did that. I was raised fucking permanently Catholic. It's scary. Like, being raised permanently Catholic means I am very ashamed of my body as God intended. So, like, this is true. I never had a massage till I came to California. I never had a massage. So I came here. I said, you know what? Give me one of those fucking massages. So I get in there. I'm in the little massage room, right? And the masseuse walks in and he goes, take off all your clothes. And I thought it was kind of odd because it was a foot massage. So I did, and And I'm standing there holding my clothes, and I said, I don't know whether if I'm funny or you need medical attention. I'm standing there holding my clothes, and I said, where should I put these? He said, just put them in the corner next to mine. And I will say this, other than an awkward amount of eye contact, best fucking foot massage I ever had in my life. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say this longly and loudly. You know, Kinsey said everybody's a little gay. A little bit. I'm a little gay. Just for the attention. Just for the attention. And I find out what women find out. We like the attention, right? But eventually someone's going to try and fuck me. And that's where it gets to be a problem. But other than that, I think we live in crazy fucking times. I don't know if you know, but, you know, we don't have enough fire people, so Mexico sent 73 firemen here, and ICE had instituted the Trump-era immigration policy. He immediately deported them. And we live in a time when, because I don't know if you heard or not, but Biden accidentally pardoned John Wilkes Booth. I don't know if you heard that. We're getting him out just in time. You remember John Wilkes Booth, the actor / assassin? Yeah, he once said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I don't know if you remember that. But, yeah, he was the only actor ever to take a president down until George Clooney. Mark is the only one that gets that. But that's okay. That's all right. But we actually live in a time where old white men tell you who's black. Joe Biden was on Charlemagne. I just say Charlemagne. I don't say the God. I just say Charlemagne. And he said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. And Trump was on TV. He said, oh, I didn't even know. Now Kamala Harris is black. Old white men, geriatric white men, don't tell you who's black. Black people tell you who's black. I don't know if you guys know, but I was in the music business. I was at the Emmys 2 weeks ago. And Drake came up to me, and he gave me an N-word pass. I was honored. But Kendrick tapped me on the shoulder and said it was only good in the house. And here's the deal. I'm going to share something with you that maybe Sosa would help me with. Perhaps there is a controversy in the black community that if your mother is not black, you are not black. And you are not allowed to grant N-word passes. And it's a little iffy about, you know, the level of, you know, it's like a Puerto Rican using the N-word. You're like, is it Ricky Martin or Rosie Perez? You know, but here's a thing that you guys don't know, and TMZ is going to air this, so you guys better get ready, because you remember you heard it from Patty first. First of all, this isn't news. Drake's mother's Jewish. His mother is Jewish. If your mother is Jewish, you are Jewish. No one can ever take that away from you. If you arrive in this world through a Jewish or kosher vagina, nobody can take your Jewishness away. Would never happen. But there is a rumor, and it is a rampant rumor, that Drake is the only individual ever to have been to a P. Diddy freak-off and been to Shabbat dinner on Epstein's Island. Hold on. Now, look, I can't confirm or deny the first rumor because he calls it a white party, but I wasn't invited. He says, we got Bieber and Kuchar. We don't need any. Much like Jeffrey Dahmer's diet wasn't interested in any more white meat at the time. But I can confirm that he had Shabbat dinner on Epstein's Island, and I'll tell you why. Because I was there. I was there. Look, I know what you're thinking. Patty, you're not even Jewish. That's true. But I have a certain status called Shabbat Goyim. Shabbat Goyim literally translates to one of the good ones. Which was how thanks for that. I appreciate that. Yeah, we needed to hear that. Thanks. Give him a round of applause. You didn't get enough fucking attention. God damn it. These lawyers are all assholes. I have a daughter. She's a lawyer. She's an asshole, too. So I say Shabbat Goyim, which does translate to one of the good ones, which is what my father used to refer to Sammy Davis Jr. as many years ago. And I will say this. I was there as a Shabbat Goyim to turn the sex toys on and off after dinner. That was my sole function there. And I want to say something that's not going to make me popular with you guys. Jeffrey Epstein was very good to me. He was a very good man to me. He gifted me with an oil painting of himself. And that oil painting hangs in my front room today. And it didn't hang itself either. You guys have been wonderful. Give yourself a round of applause. I've been Patty, Paddyforcomedy. I book a show every Wednesday. It's a show at a nightclub called The Mix in Pasadena. Hit me up, and I'm going to leave you by quoting famed comedian Louis C.K. Thank you for allowing me to expose myself. Give it up for Suna Klunquist.
Oh, God. Sometimes you got me. Oh, boy, we're going to look back on all the fun you had, but now we got to have the comedy of Marco Trinidad. Give it up. We got making his debut. Wyatt, guys, someone's on the set.
Thank you. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for having me. So my name is Marco, and I know that comes with a certain impulse. I don't know if you guys have ever been in a pool. Yeah, I already heard it. All right, if you guys want, we can do it together. Marco. Oh! Thank you. You guys are part of the problem, but I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm sure you guys can tell that's been like a pretty prominent part of my life. And I got to say, the worst part about that experience is the look that somebody gives you when they hit you with a polo. Yeah, 9 times out of 10, it's the same look. And I'm going to show you what that looks like, right? So pretend your name is Marco. Someone calls your name, Marco. And then usually someone you don't even know looks over at you and says, Polo. It's fucking gross, dude. I don't like it, Like, honestly, I'm traumatized, It's to the point where, like, I don't even want to hear my name during sex. You know what I mean? Because you never know. The chances of hearing a polo during sex is slim. But it's not impossible. Anything is possible through God. And I don't think I can handle it, Like, honestly, I'd probably be less upset if she said someone else's name, Like, don't get me wrong, I'd still be upset, but in the back of my head, I'd be like, all right, that's not that bad. Could be worse, Some more about me. I'm sure you guys could tell. I'm sure I don't have to tell you guys. I'm sure you guys could tell by the way I comb my hair. But I do call my mom regularly. And I do. And it's nice. I like talking to my mom. It's nice. More than anything because she tends to remind me of things that I can make fun of my brothers for later, Like my favorite one so far has been one of my brothers, despite being almost 40, still needs bananas to take his pills. I guess it's like a texture thing or something. I don't know. But that's funny to me, right? Because, like, you don't have to drug test him. He's clean. There's no way you do, like, hard drugs and then need, like, a banana for your Tylenol. It doesn't work that way, But I like to picture him doing drugs. I think that's pretty funny. Like, picturing him, like, at a rave and having to say shit like, okay, guys, before I take this Molly, someone needs to take me to the nearest produce department, Either that or he's, like, walking around the club with, like, a warm banana in his pocket, That gets me going through the day. I like that kind of stuff, man. I'll tell you about one of my favorite things, another favorite thing of mine. One of my favorite human experiences, if I had to pick one, is being able to break it to somebody that some shit they thought was normal isn't normal, It's a fun experience. Like, the last time I really got to experience this was at an old job of mine. I worked at a warehouse. People picked up parts, all that good stuff. And while I was there, we had a guy come in, and while he was picking up parts, he does this hand gesture to us. I didn't really pay no mind. But then he leaves, and our boss looks over at us, and he's like, can you believe he did that shit? That's disgusting. Didn't really know what he meant. But he proceeds to explain that this is the universal sign for kissing cousins. Yeah. We then had to explain to him that there is no universal sign for kissing cousins. And And I think it's fair to say that if there is, there shouldn't be. I hope that's not a hot take in this room. Anyway, he proceeded to, like, he spent the rest of the day trying to, like, justify why he knows that. And I'll be honest, there was no point. You know what I mean? Like, I'll put it this way. He could have told me he slept in a loaf of sourdough the night before. Wouldn't have sounded nearly as inbred. It's a thinker. Believe it or not, I do like that joke more than anything because it's either you laugh because you like puns or you don't because you like kissing your cousin. You know what I mean? It's one or the other. Some of you passed, and I appreciate y'all. Another one of my favorite things is one of my favorite parts of having been divorced is dad rock makes a lot more sense to me now. You know, like 80s dad rock. Because for like the longest time, it was just like noise out here at a grocery store, right? But then I got divorced, and then I started hearing shit like, here I go again on my own. I'm like, hell yeah, brother, I like that. That makes sense, dude. I like that, you know? You start hearing shit like, we're not gonna take it. You damn right I'm not gonna take it. Because she's gonna take it. She took everything. She took everything. Yeah. How about this one? I pour some sugar on me, you know? I'll be honest, that last one has nothing to do with being divorced. I just, I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it, yeah. Something not so fun. Anyone here ever get their car broken into before? Yeah, all right, hell yeah, we can start a support group. I like that. Nah, I've gotten my car broken into, and honestly, that wasn't like the worst part about that experience, you know, because I kind of expected my car to get broken into. At that time, I had a 97 Toyota Camry, and the doors didn't lock, so you just kind of expected that to happen at some point. But it was an old car, so I didn't have Bluetooth, I didn't have aux, you know, I didn't have nothing like that. So if I wanted to listen to music that I like, I bought albums, I bought CDs, and whatever. I found my car broken into, all the doors were open, and I look in there, and this guy made like a mess out of my albums. You know, they were in the front seat, the back seat, they were in the dashboard. It was a mess. But that didn't bother me. What bothered me is that none of them were missing. Like this guy, I can already picture this guy went through all of my albums and just thought, man, this is fucking garbage, man. Like, none of these are worth the crime, you know, that I'm already committing, you know? Like, that's not... Because look, I guess what I'm trying to say is I was expecting to get my car broken into at some point. But I wasn't expecting to find out that my taste in music sucks, you know? That was 13 years ago. I'm still figuring it out, you know? Nowadays, I do travel a lot for work, and I'm kind of over it, you know? Like the last trip I had a layover in Charlotte, North Carolina, where I had 20 minutes to get from one end of the airport to the other. And if you travel, you know, it's not a lot of time. So naturally I started running. Now, I know I'm not in the best shape in the world, but I didn't realize how bad it was until people started cheering for me. You know? As I was running to the airport, you know. Oh god. Like honestly, I thought I was running normal, you know. And I thought I was running normal, and all of a sudden all I hear is don't worry, you're gonna make it. You're gonna make it, you know? Or you got this, big dog, push through. You know? Like, that's a weird time to find out you graduated to big dog, you know? I didn't know that. You know? And what's fucked up is some of you guys are probably wondering, I did make it. And, you know, 2 hours later after I caught my breath, I felt a lot, you know, I was pretty proud of myself, you know? I was pretty proud of myself. Another reason, yeah, I do know I need to start taking care of myself and eating better. And not for, like, any of the health benefits, right? I just don't want to get, like, murdered. Or get caught in a freak accident. Get rolled into autopsy and have the coroner open up my stomach to find, like, 2 gas station chili dogs and a Slim Jim in there, you know? It's a bad look, you know? It's a bad look. I can already picture the guy doing it, right? Just kind of opening up my stomach and being like, ugh. I don't know what killed him. But what I do know, he didn't give a shit when it happened. He was cool with it. I mean, he didn't even chew. How did he do that? I don't know. I like this guy. All right, I'm gonna end this one with a hot take because you said I heard it was a safe space. So this hot take is I don't believe in ugly women. And when I say I don't believe in ugly women, I don't mean like I don't believe in them. Like I don't think they're gonna achieve their hopes and dreams. That's not what I'm saying. I mean, I don't believe there are ugly women. I think there's something for everyone out there. If someone doesn't find you attractive, someone else will, you know? And I think that's real nice. But I do have preferences. You know, I have things I'm not a fan of. Like here's a preference of mine, and I say this respectfully. But you ever meet a lady, you ever go out with a lady, and you look at her face and respectfully immediately know what her dad looks like? It's just that, man. I'm not a fan of the dad face. I'm sorry. You know, like... I'm not saying it's ugly, right? I'm just saying is if you're talking to her in that capacity, the last person you want to think about is her dad, you know? And I think that's fair, you know? Because, like, best case scenario is I find her attractive either way, because that's possible. But now I don't even want to hang out with her anymore, dude. I want to hang out with her dad. I mean, fuck the apple. I want to see what the tree's about, you know what I'm saying? All right, that's my time. My name is Mark Trinidad. Thank you. At Marco Does Comedy on Instagram. Thank you.
That Marco Does Comedy. And this is his first time here. Great job, great job. And your headliner tonight, hey, you left him hanging with your one potato. Now it's a pound dough. You do one potato, two potato. But we have somebody that's coming up that I miss. He's always not calling me back, and I love to see you here. The one and only, let's see what they were going through tonight. Stanley Jean? Yeah. Okay, merci.
What's up, LA? How's everyone doing? Sorry I'm late. I didn't think I was gonna make it tonight. I was kind of caught in entanglement. Actually, I was breaking up with my white girlfriend. Breakups are sad. Why? Because she's a nigga lover. Now, before you cast me into the Candace Owens box, hear me out. Well, I guess in retrospect, there were nigger lover red flags everywhere. I remember after the first date, I walked into her apartment and there was this massive picture of Ray J on her wall. And then right next to it, there was this massive picture of Black Jesus. And I said, that's odd, a white woman with a black deity, And why is it next to Ray J? Another red flag, when we get into argument, instead of arguing like a white woman, she would argue like a black woman. For example, one time we got into an argument and I was like, hey, babes, can you just shut the hell up? And she's putting down her keys. She's like, oh, what? Oh. You ain't gonna do shit, nigga. Oh. You ain't gonna do shit, nigga. You ain't gonna do shit. So after that traumatizing experience, I was just like, you know what? I decided if I'm gonna date a white woman, I'm gonna date a white woman. That means that she has to listen to Taylor Swift. That means that she has to eat kale and hummus. And her family has to be, low-key racist, White woman. So since I started off with a sad breakup story, how about we lighten up the mood? Let's talk about, racism. But I want to put out a disclaimer. I'm going to use the N-word. So for the sensitive Karens in the crowd who are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he's using the N-word again, I can use the N-word. Why? I have black friends. Now, if you're white and you're thinking, well, I have black friends, can I use the N-word? Technically, you can. Now it's gonna get you a great ass whooping, but technically you can. No. So I just moved to LA 2 years ago from white supremacy. I mean, Utah. Well, I say I moved, but it's more like I fled from one of the largest white supremacist organizations in the world. I mean, the Mormon Church. I also fled because I got so sick and tired of the racism from babies. I could be at a grocery store minding my own business, and a white woman with her baby will pull up right next to me, and the baby will look outside the store like, Mommy, look, over there, a nigger. And then I'll look over there. I was like, well, where's the nigger? He's talking about me. And then I'll look back at the woman, and she's feeling really embarrassed, and everybody's looking at her. Her face kind of looks like the Southwest commercial, Want to Get Away. And then she'll bend down and talk to her son like, sweetie, baby, we don't say that word in public. And in my mind, I'm like, so we say that word in private. Or I could be at church minding my own business, and a white member of my congregation will approach me and be like, Stanley, you know what the good news of the gospel is for black men when they die? And I'm like, polygamy? And he'd be like, no, that your skin will become fair, white, and delightsome. And I'm like, sir, that's bad news. I'd rather take my chances in hell. So I like being in LA, away from white supremacy. I finally have black neighbors. So I made sure my front door, my car door stayed locked at all times. No, I'm really excited about that I have black neighbors. Probably a little too excited. One time I went up to my neighbor and I was like, "Hey, how's it going? Can we be friends?" And they looked at me and started to slowly walk away. What's wrong with this nigger? So I came into my own, and my own has received me not. So I like living in LA, but I think it is a place where cultural appropriation has gone way too far. I remember one night I was really hungry and I went to Santa Monica to this Jamaican spot, and I know it was owned and operated by Mexicans. Now, I know that's really normal for you guys, but it is not normal to have jerk chicken with a tortilla. That is not normal. That is not Jamaican food. That's Jamexican food. Listen, I'm all about diversity, equity, and inclusion, but we have to draw the line with Mexicans making Jamaican food. It just can't be allowed. I'm okay with them making Japanese food. Like the other night, I went to Amigo Sushi's, and I'm fine with that. It was great, but not Jamaican food. It's kind of like if a Jamaican dude came to my door, knocked on my door, and like, "Hey man, can I mow your lawn for $100?" But like, this is not quite in this proper racial order. But on second thought, I guess my lawn will be weedless, So I've come to reconcile that I am woke, and I say reconcile because before, I wasn't really sure what wokeness really means, because initially it meant to be aware or conscientious of racial injustice, but now it just means that chicks can have dicks and still be considered chicks, as long as you identify as such. So I'm here to say that I've come to accept and believe that, transgender women are actually women. Just like I believe that Kraft cheese is actually cheese. I'm kidding. There's so much to admire about transgender women. They have dominated women's sports. They won Woman of the Year. They're so rational and they completely understand men. So there's so much to admire. That's all I have tonight. You can find me at SJC Comedy. Have a good night.
That was a great set. I missed you. Why don't you ever call? Terrible. You guys have been a great crowd, so I want to show everybody. And let you guys know that we love you guys. We're doing a clothes drive soon. If not a clothes drive, a food drive. And if you're an evacuee, you're here for free. And if you're a first responder, you're here for free. And all of you people going through something with the fires, I hope we made you giggle a little bit, because it's a lot. And Griffin is not for sale. Okay? But we know, who knows? But you know something? I can't use that word. My husband gets really mad at me. Yeah, no, when I'm like, she's a nigga lover. He's like, you can't say that. I'm like, yes, I can. What do you mean I can't say that? Just because you say it and people don't know you're saying it. Because that's the way that's how you say the color in German. Schwarz, that's the way it is. That's what it means. I know. My God, you guys have to get this podcast together. And I just wish you all the best. Like, really, we really want Aaron's acting school to be here, because we want to be here and everything happens here. We do podcasts. And listen, if people tell you... Who put the wop in the wop, the wop, the wop? Who put the bang in the butter, bing, bang? How's that? I mean, work with mics like this. That's why that picture of me, I had to take it down. Someone said, you can have a cord wrapped around your neck. I took a picture for a magazine. I thought it was funny. I go like this. They were like, that's not funny. I was like, no, it's not funny, because I'll PM myself. I can sneeze to do that. All right, that was a joke and too much information. But if people tell you're funny, you probably are. But you won't know until you take it from the page of the stage. And we are definitely getting our things here together. I just wanted to say that if I don't have your phone numbers, I can't send your pictures. I got the right person now, because I've harassed the other Griff, where they blocked me. And it's like a big-time shop on Melrose, where I want to return my clothes. And that's when I'm feeling Persian. But That's just great. Yeah, so that's you. And guys, come here, rent a spot, do your podcasts. Sheila D was supposed to be, but she's not, so we'll talk about her another day. That's what we do. And you do get money. If you just post a picture on this thumbs up, you get money. Aaron made $60 one night at a show we did, just sitting here, just posting pictures. So, I just want to...
took a photograph 6 times?
No.
How did it get 60? It says you get 10.
You don't get
Now listen.
a picture of that. You take a picture of where you are, and then you go on their app and you post that picture.
You
to
mean like
prove
if you're
that you
having
were here.
dinner? Or...
Huh?
Sometimes we're too Jewish. Sometimes we're too Jewish. Just sometimes it's too many Jews in one room. And Jews can't whisper. Marco, you're so funny. Oh my God. I have a guy in my building, I call him Marco Loco. Because he comes out and he talks to himself and he has 2 cups of coffee and he sits there with nobody and has a conversation. It's on the corridor. We're paying money to live there. And he sits there and always his pants come down by accident. So I call him Marco Loco. We just have a whole bunch of crazy people, but that's for another night and another time. My husband's starving. How do I know? Because I didn't cook. All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you, Aaron. Good night. Oh, I knocked that thing down. How many? Oh, you shut it off?